You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, you guys? I miss doing the morning show on here. I actually miss it. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, that I'm not talking to myself. Good morning, Rebecca. As much as I miss the lives, but I love the podcast. I love the podcast stuff. So, good morning, Shondale. Okay, you can hear me. I told you guys that I would do it on Fridays for a couple weeks just to keep reiterating that it is now podcast is on Anchor and Spotify. So if you have not gone over there and checked it out and listening, I am going to change the days though. I won't be doing it Monday through Friday. I'm going to do it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So starting your morning, week off, midweek, hump day, and then Friday to get you into the weekend energy. That's what I'm going to do just for a while, as my schedule is about to get busier in this next month. So I won't have time to do the 7 days a week on the morning show. But I'll still be cracking out a lot of content. There is 9 episodes available on the podcast. There's over 100 episodes on my YouTube channel if you go to YouTube. So you guys know where to go look to go catch up on the morning shows. If you've missed any of them, I keep the content, keep the real ass conversations going. Good morning, Natalie. Remember, this is your Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Radiance.com, where all of your questions get answered. Yes, that is my website. And you can book not only tarot readings, I do healing. There's classes available over there. There's a crystal shop. I am fixing the crystal shop little by little over there. So definitely go and check it out. Hey, Joanne, good morning. Growth is awesome, right, Betty? I do want to start doing the walk-in talks coming up next month in the Soul Tribe. So in the Soul Tribe group, if you guys remember, I used to do the walk-in talks with you guys. I am going to be bringing that back. I've been thinking about it for a while. So hopefully I may get some inspiration to get you guys to get to walking around and do some exercise in the morning and get the fuck up, right? It's getting warmer. The snow, some of you guys, your snow is finally melting, even though it's almost fucking May and shit. Some of you guys, it's getting warmer. So we're able to get out there and get some walking going on. If you got some beautiful lakes around you, you can definitely start getting it, right? You feel drained. You might just need some rest, boo. You might need to get some rest, some real rest. When's the last time you cleansed or released some energy that you need to let go of? Who else did I say good morning to? What else announcements do I have to say this morning? New platform is still in the works, you guys. I have not forgot about you guys, but those of you, I know I miss the walk-in talks too, right? They might just be shorter. Like instead of like the whole time I would walk around, I think I would walk around like 30 minutes. I might do like a quick walk and talk, like a 15-minute quick walk and talk with you guys. We'll see how that goes. I miss the lake. I've been in the house way too long. And I am, you know how like, I know some people can relate to this, being in the house all the winter and then you start getting like crazy, you start feeling like crazy as fuck. That's how I'm feeling. I've been in the house way too long and I need to get out of the house. And so even though we have not had a crazy winter, it has actually been pretty warm. I've been in the house getting my taxes together, getting my business papers and shit together. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little bit more time. I got to get out of this house. I got to get outside. I got to get walking. I got to clear my mind and get out of this place. You got them all subscribed this morning after tarot about what was coming towards each sign. All right, awesome, Becky. Good morning, Sakori. So I'm going to tell you one of the best free ways to release in the shower. Cabin fever. That's what it is. I was like, I know that there's a fucking saying. You guys know I'm horrible at this shit with when it comes to sayings and fucking analogies and metaphors and shit. But yes, cabin fever. Oh my god. I'm going to lose it. So, Joanne, one of my top cleansing tips, the shower. The shower, the shower. Water is a conduit, water is a cleanser, water is a purifier. Stand in the shower, close your eyes, visualize and feel yourself releasing the negative energy. I want you to see it coming off of your body like dirt. I want you to see it rinsing off of you and going down the drain like dirt into the drain and going down the drain. That is my top and number one release of negative energy. Every day I do it. There's not a day that I miss that I don't do it. That is the number one way to cleanse and release, because that water is it's crazy. The water is revitalizing, regeneration. Get into the habit of doing that. We are water, and water does it. And if you also play some meditation in the background while you're doing it, even better. Play some meditation in the bathroom while you're doing it. It's going to be 10 times better for you. The wind is picking up. Another good release and cleanse is the egg cleanse. So if you've never done the egg cleanse, I could talk about it. We could talk about it a little bit. I love the egg cleanse. It's a quick, easy, free way to do it. You got an egg in your fridge. You got a clear glass, then some salt. You could do an egg cleanse. Okay. Water is mine. One thing I've always said is the beach. The beach is my place, right? But if you don't have a beach, if you have a lake, go to the lake. I have these small lakes by me, like the one that I walk around, and it's so soothing to be by the water. Like I have literally sat by the lake in the grass and just meditated in the grass. And it's so just like, which I actually need to get out. I need to get out there. I didn't get to go yesterday. I was trying to go yesterday, but I had too much to do yesterday. Ooh, extractions. All right, we're gonna send some love and light. Good morning, Evelyn. Yes, yes, I had to. I was struggling. I was trying to give my nails a break, but I struggled. I struggled looking at my nubs for a while. I can't do it. I can't do it. I needed to get them. Um, there are these things called Muslim bags or tea bags, Betty. They're kind of like mesh, but the water can get through it. If you put your herbs in those bags, I don't know if you remember Shop Heba, my daughter's company. She's not practicing right now, so we don't have her supplies, but she put different baths in these baggies. Now, I don't like my tub. I hate my tub. My tub it can fit a toddler in it. That's how tiny my tub is. I don't give a fuck if you were an adult weighing 110 pounds, you wouldn't fit in this tub. Okay. My tub is tiny. So I don't take baths. I can't take baths in there. It's just not relaxing. So I would take that bag, that Muslim bag with the herbs, and put the water, let the water kind of soak and just pour it over my head. So you can do that. That's a way to do it. The biggest thing is not to wash it off. So you want to wash your body first, do all your regular washing, and then you take your herbs, make sure you're wetting, especially if you have that kind of mesh baggie, and then pour it over you, but don't rinse it away. You want to let the herbs stay on you. You got to remember, if you're in the shower and you are thinking about this negative energy coming off of you, rinsing off of you, that's meditation, Becky. That is meditation. That is a place of meditation. You're actively meditating. So most people only know about trying to calm their self in a non-active meditation. but there's actually active meditation. Like, the guided meditation. The guided meditation is an active meditation. You're actively working through something in your meditative state. So there's different styles and types of meditation. You want to do an active one in your shower because you're cleansing and removing in that state. Okay. Some people say that's Sakori, but I'm gonna tell you, you can dump it in the trash. For people who can't get out of their house, for people who can't go find a fucking crossroads, because the thing about it is finding a corner to dump an egg out is suspect. Okay. Finding a crossroads to go take the shit to. This ain't the fucking 1920s and shit where you just had crossroads everywhere, four corners and shit. So you actually dump the egg water after you're done in the toilet, though. Flush it down the toilet with the shit. That's where it goes. Do not dump it in your drain. don't don't dump it in. Don't dump it in your trash. Dump it in the. Now you can go dump it into a trash can that's far away from your house, but the chances of people finding the right corner and not looking back and all this crazy shit take 10 steps and just in your toilet is fine. It's fine in the toilet. Um, you love the water beach, but you're a fire. I love the water. I'm a fire sign too, but I love the water. The beach is my happy place. I always can go to the beach and just really the waves, the wind, the sun on my skin. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, yeah, that's the best way for the shower because, like I said, I hate my tub. And until I get my house that has that beautiful, big, giant jacuzzi tub that I want in my bathroom, I'll just have to deal with the shower because that tub is a toddler tub. Um, and I don't think I really paid attention to it when I was moving in because I was like, why did I move into this place with this fucking tub? There's some reason. Um, so if you want the steps of how to do the egg cleanse, I'll tell you how I do it. Everybody does it a little bit differently. Um, oh, I bet you the waterfalls are pretty because you're up there where it's like the nicer the upper part right of New York, so it's like the nicer greener area. um, So if you're going to do the egg cleanse, get a white tea light candle, and you want a clear glass. I use wine glasses because it's clear, you're able to see in it. Especially if you want me to help you read the results, I need a clear glass. So I need you guys to take pictures from all angles. Don't be moving the fucking glass. People be taking videos, the shit's shaking and shit. No. Okay. You got to set it down, keep it in that space, and be able to take the pictures all around and on the top for me to look at. Some people say don't look at the top because then you absorb it back in, but that's bullshit. I don't believe that. If you believe that, that's what you believe, but I don't believe that. You have to look at it to see if there's bubbles there. Like you can't not look at it. So once you get the cup, you're going to light that white tea light candle and you're going to pray to whoever you believe in, your creator, God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, angels, goddesses, ancestors, your team, whoever it is. And you're going to ask them to not only show you what you can't see, but also remove the negativity that is attached to you, whatever negativity is attached to you. Best way is to put that tea light candle somewhere high above so that it can show you what you don't see. Your refrigerator is the perfect place. If you don't have a lot of shit around it, that's going to burn up. Or any place that's kind of higher above your head would be perfect for that. Then you take your cup, you have the water. You also are going to need salt at the end of this. So make sure you have your salt nearby. You take your egg, you start from your crown, okay? And you just pass it. You don't go over the same spot twice. So you're not sitting here scrubbing with the egg like, oh, I need to scrub myself. You're not doing that. So I'm trying to get some. So let's say this is the egg, right? So you just start passing it and you're saying you're going to remove this shit, blah, 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 remove whatever, whatever, whatever. And you just keep going down, 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 all the way to the bottom of your feet. Do not go over a spot that you've wiped. And I say wipe away. You don't need to scrub with the egg. I see some people doing some crazy shit. Wipe away. Wipe away. You're taking it off. Hey, Heather. I'll be back on Fridays. I'll be back on Fridays for a little while. And then you guys must go to the podcast to hear my beautiful voice every day. Well, it won't be every day, but um, once you get to the bottom of your feet, you'll crack that egg into the glass. You have to let it sit there for like, 15 to 20 minutes. You want it to kind of settle in, take its shape. Now, a couple things. If you break the egg before it gets into the glass, you got to start over. Like if you crack and it busts before you even get the egg into the cup, you got to start over. You got some bad shit on you. Okay. It broke it, but you got to start over. Now, if you crack the egg, you get in there successfully and it floats, well, you're going to have to look for some deeper cleansing and get in my inbox if it does that. It's not a good sign if it floats. Okay. If it sinks to the bottom, better. We want it to sink to the bottom. We want the egg to go to the bottom. And then there's different things to look at. Not everything is spell work. Not everything is someone, everybody's doing fucking spell work. I want you guys to understand that people's thoughts are just as strong as somebody lighting a candle. Somebody wants me to shut up. It's just as strong as someone lighting a candle and chanting over the candle, okay? People don't need to be doing spell work to have negative thoughts about you. People don't need any type of ritual shit to fucking hate you, okay? People just do a great job with their energy. Good morning, Divergent. The waves make you nauseated. Wait, what? You said if it floats, it's a stale. Trying to think. There's a whole, I have like a cheat sheet, and you could get in my inbox for the cheat sheet on some things to look at. Most people, they kind of look at it and it's like, oh my God. But it's really going to show you a lot of shit in your mind. Sometimes you'll see letters, you'll see people, you'll see skeletons. If you see a skeleton in that shit, not a good sign. If you could see faces sometimes, you saw a pic this morning. There's a whole bunch of different things, and everyone has their different ways of looking at it and reading it. I will tell you, I'm a very intuitive person when I do these things. So I let spirit guide me on what I need to look at, and I let spirit kind of guide me what I need to say. What's the message of looking at it? And if I really don't know, I have people that I kind of contact, like, hey, can you help me with this? Because this is like out, I've never seen this before. So if there's something like crazy that comes through, of course, if you see any blood in the egg, that's not a good sign. If you see any black in the egg, that's definitely not a good sign. Get in my inbox and we will talk about it further. I don't want to scare anybody with the shit. Just there are some things that if you see, it's not good health wise. So if you do have the blood or you have the black that comes out, you definitely you got to do some other steps. And not that you got to go out and spend $1 million to cleanse and stuff, but you do need to start to take care of yourself, and you need to learn how to protect yourself. Okay. Biggest thing about any of this is that we're not taught how to stand in our power and protect our own energy. And there's ways energetically, because I'm an energetic healer. I believe in energy. So you can build your energy to protect yourself so not a lot of stuff penetrates and gets through. It's not just about your team watching your back and doing the work for you. It's about you creating a boundary, creating your light bubble around you that is protective. There's different kind of like places of our protective bubble. So we have an inner protective bubble. We have like a secondary one. And then there's another one that kind of spans out. You have to really build that up and understand that you are your being. You can protect yourself energetically and not let things affect you as much, or learn how to release it just as fast. The movement of the water, that kind of sucks though. What is the sign of the evil eye? What do you mean? You know what the thing about it is? I don't really think there's a sign of the evil eye. There's just the evil eye where You ever be talking, having a conversation with someone, and let's say you're talking about something in your life that means a lot, and you look and you catch someone's facial expression at you, but their facial expression is not like, oh yeah, great. You know what I mean? Their facial expression. You ever be talking to someone and out your peripheral vision, this is the kicker. Your peripheral vision, you will see somebody looking at you with the facial expression of like, fucking bitch. That's what the evil eye is. I know when I've had conversations, I purposely don't look at people and I'm having a conversation, but I will see them in my peripheral and I see the way that they look at my ass. And it's crazy how some people will be sitting there looking when you're talking because they just can't stand your ass. That's the evil eye. When someone is generally just either envious of what you have, jealous of what you have, some people can't help it. It's not that they just, some people just can't help being bitter as fuck. Okay. Some people just can't look at you and just, some people are like, that bitch has everything. Why? Some people don't understand why people love you the way that they do. Some people are just jealous that people like respect you. And they're like, why? What does that person have? A lot of people are just bitter. So you have to look at that energy and you can feel the energy of someone. So evil eye is more like an expression versus it's not like you're going to see their eyes change and all of a sudden there's this fucking evil eye that's looking at you. But you can see the way someone is looking at you and you can feel the intentions behind when they're looking at you. So watch and pay attention to the people you're having conversations with. You will pick up on it more. Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Riley. Aw, I gotta promote this. When someone says they absolutely love you, are you listening to the podcast? Um, you guys know all day long I'm gonna be like, are you listening to the podcast? Are you on Spotify? Did you go to Anchor? Did you promote the fucking show? Oh, I'm gonna send you some love, Evelyn. Sending you some love and some light. The thing is, Joanne, pretty much my whole life has been a series of people that cannot stand my energy. I have a very intense energy, and a lot of people always love me. And I have had a lot of unfortunate people who just can't stand that. They really just can't stand that, and they don't understand it. And I've had to go through that time and time and time again. And that's why we wear things that protect us from the evil eye, protect us from the ill wishing. You know what I mean? Awesome, Stephanie. Thank you for sharing me. Good morning, Rose. So evil eye is more like an expression. That's why they say don't take your new baby around a lot of people because people that are jealous may be giving your baby the evil eye. And there's some hateful ass people. Let me tell you, I've seen some very hateful ass shit. People will actually hate somebody's fucking unborn child and the child's done nothing to them. It's fucking horrible. Um, Yeah. When you have a loud energy, people do not like your ass. Oh Lord, they don't. I love that. I gotta promote it. I gotta promote it. Um, you know, and it's like you just stand out and people just can't take that. It's like, when I was younger, I used to go like, it used to piss me off. It would be like, what do you mean you don't like me? How you don't like me? And I think I've said this a bunch of times. Like, what you mean you don't like me? How you don't like me? Me? I'm fucking fabulous. But you have people who just, you're too intense. People love you too much. You're too real. You're too fierce. And you got to dim your light for everybody else. And there was a time I used to dim my light for everybody else, but I don't fucking dim my light for nobody no more. I ain't dimming my light for nobody. I'm a beast. Fuck that. Exactly what you say. Thick goddess energy. I'm a whole fucking energy. And I'm not about to go against that shit for nobody because nobody's feeling a certain way. I don't give a fuck what you feeling. I'm not changing that. I'm not changing who I am. This is me. I'm a whole fucking energy. You either like me or you don't. You don't like me? Okay. Don't be in my life. Bye. See ya. In the words of Tyler, if you guys have seen Tyler's tarot, you'll know that term. That's from him. I watch him on YouTube. He was one of the first tarot readers that I used to watch, and I still support his channel, even though it be some trashy ass tarot, and I don't I still support him though and watch it. But he has me cracking up all the time. Bye. See ya. Yeah, you will feel it. You start really getting in tune, and I've always been someone in tune with energy. The bad part about it is, even though I knew people were not good for me, I would allow them to fuck up. Even though I felt it coming, I knew these people were shitty as fuck, I would allow them to fuck up, because that's the type of person I am. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt until you show me otherwise. Even though to the gut of me, the core of me is screaming, don't do it. Don't give these people a chance. And I still do it anyway, because I want to be able to say, I tried. I tried to love you. I tried to take care of you. I tried to be your friend. I attempted this and it went down to shit. All right. So when I cut ties, I cut ties. And I don't look back. And that's before my spiritual path. I've cut ties with people, long-term people in my life, and I've cut ties. And I just, sometimes you just got to keep walking. You got to let go and be okay to let go. Right. And it's like, how? I love people who are themselves. You got to be yourself. We're always trying to change ourselves for society. We're always trying to change to fit society's brand of shit. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Be you. That's why I didn't stop cursing. When I got on YouTube and everything, a lot of people were like, oh, well, don't you want to stop cursing? Or maybe you should stop cursing because, what if some people want to watch you that don't like that? And I was like, well, I guess they're not going to watch me then. Why am I going to change up? Why am I going to change who I am in that aspect to get more viewers? No, I feel like the people who like me will be here. People who want to listen to what I have to say, they see value in it, they'll respect it, and they'll listen. Other than that, don't fuck listen to me. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, no, I'm not going to change it. Exactly, Shondell. Exactly. We got to put this one up. Yes. Yes. And that's a famous saying. It's like, and I don't even know who fucking said it, but even when the clouds are there, the sun is still shining. You always have to remember that. So don't dim your light for anybody else. Don't fucking dim your light. Yeah. Right, right. And that's a killer when someone doesn't like someone else and they expect you not to like someone else. Some people call that loyalty. Let's do the air quotes. Let's do the air quotes. Some people think that's loyalty. That's not fucking loyalty. I would tell people, I don't give a fuck who you don't like. Don't ask me not to like that person just because you don't like that person. And then you call me fake because I don't like this person. Bitch, get out of here. Go somewhere with that shit. This person that you're talking shit about, I'm going to give them a chance to show me who they truly are. Just because y'all got an issue doesn't mean I have an issue with this person. And I've had to tell some people that, like, I get, okay, you had this incident with this person. Okay, what does that have to do with to me? And I've had some people look at me like, offended. What are you offended about? You had an incident with this person. That ain't got shit to do with me. I don't get into that catty bullshit like, oh, you don't like this person, so now we teaming up on this person. Get the fuck out of here with that. You don't like them. You stay over there with that shit. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I just don't get involved with like that. I don't judge people based on somebody else's shit because I feel like that's your situation. My situation with this person may not end tragically. Sometimes it does, though. Sometimes it does. Sometimes somebody will be like, man, that person, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'll give them a chance. And then, sometimes they prove the person right. And it's like, well, damn, okay. But not all the time. It's not ladylike to cuss. I know. I'm like, it's so vulgar. So vulgar. Maybe not. You got to stay real to you. I've changed a lot, but I'm still me. I've changed in areas of my life, but me, my personality, it hasn't really wavered that much. I'm still the same person, except I used to be way more brutal, and now I have more love in my speech. I have more love in my conversation. I have more understanding for people that I didn't before. Because before there was a time where if I didn't understand you, I just really did not understand you, and I'd be very critical to your situation. And this path has taught me to take a step back, and even if I don't understand it and I haven't been through it, to try to have some type of understanding or compassion to the person. And that's something that I just really did not carry before my spiritual path. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do, Divergent. You at some point you have to love people from far. When I look at people, and I think a lot of people think that that's beefing, or you're holding grudges, and that's a bunch of immature thinking. I don't think because you've forgiven somebody you have to allow them back in your life. I don't believe that when once you work through the hurt and pain of a situation, that you need to become BFFs or family again. I think that people have to understand that it's your choice to love people from afar. And I think you never lose the love, but you can lose respect for someone. You can lose respect, and you can lose patience, and you cannot want to be around somebody's negativity. And I think people think that because you're friends or your family, that you just got to deal with their bullshit. And me personally, I'm not dealing with nobody's bullshit. I'm not. I love you guys. It's like I love you, but I ain't dealing with your shit. I'm not dealing with your toxic shit. I'm not dealing with your bullshit. I'm not dealing with your everyday shit. I'm not doing it. I'm not. My peace is too important in my life now. And there was a time where I used to let everybody fuck up my peace. Family, kids, nieces, nephews, mom, dad, everybody, brothers, baby mamas. It was just I used to let everybody fuck up my peace. And then at the end of the day, I'd be pissed off and mad that my peace is broken, that I let people in and fuck. And I had to learn that I had all the power to say, I love you, but I'll love you from far. I'll see you when I see you. As hard as that is. You got it on your TV, Rose? Oh yeah, I'm a bunch of people's villains. Let some people tell it. Oh, I'm a crazy bitch. I'm conniving. I'm a user. I'm a manipulator. And it's like, damn, is that's what you saw? Like, that's what you got out of the relationship with me? Mm. You could keep that. At some point, when I was younger, I used to want to prove and tell my story. I always wanted to tell my story because I didn't want people to think what the other person was saying about me. But then I got to a certain point, it was just like, I don't give a fuck what you guys think. Like, if you go around, you start talking shit about me and people believe you, great. And I had that happen to me here in the beginning of my path, especially in the group with a bunch of approved readers. And we had a bunch of drama that happened. And I had quite a few of them after the aftermath of talking shit about me, and I'm such a horrible, and there was a lot of people who unfollowed me, um and I had to just let it go. And it was just like, if that's what you believe, you believe. If someone falls out with me and now they're in your inbox and now all of a sudden I'm the fucking the wicked witch of the fucking west and you believe it, hey, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll be the villain. I'm not going to try to prove who I am. I feel like the real ones know who I am. You know my energy, you know how I vibe. And anybody other than that, I think people get very mad when you don't put them before yourself. And I think people get very mad when you choose you. And all of a sudden you're a bitch because you choose you. And if I'm a bitch because I choose myself over other people, I will be a bitch. I will be a bitch because for the rest of this life, I'm going to choose me in every situation. And I think all my life, I was always choosing everyone else because I was scared to lose people. I was scared to lose people. So I would secretly deal with people's bullshit because I was scared to lose. I was scared to lose the little friends I had. I was scared to lose the little family I had. Scared to lose the man, all this bullshit. And then finally you realize, like, what am I holding on to? Like, what am I truly holding on to here? Interesting. She said, I'm country bred and born. Yeah, forgiveness is definitely for self. Uh-huh. I had to cut my mom off for a minute too. I mean, me and my mom are good now, but I had to cut my mom off for a minute. And I'll be honest, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was not around my mom at all. I didn't want her negativity around me at all. And I didn't let her see my daughter until she was like almost 5 months because I just didn't want her negativity and her negative energy around my daughter. And I love my mom. Don't get me wrong. I love my mom. But at that time, I was like, yeah, nope, nope. And you have to be protective of your space. You got to stop letting people come and disturb your space. You got to stop letting people come and just bring their negativity. People who you could see it. That's what the evil eye is. You can see it. You can feel it. The person is sitting looking at you when you're talking. Their facial expression, their energy says it all. Something about them has changed or it's switched up and you can feel the shift. It's not the same, you know. Pretty much. You out your rabbit ass mind. I think people are gonna, people always have their version of you in their mind anyway. And their version of you is never who you are. Just know that you too, you have versions of people in your mind that's not true. It's not real. You have versions. We create versions of people out of our perception. And that's something that I'm working on now, is not falling into creating my version of a person and allowing them to just speak their truth, right? Um, it's hard though, because we do create those versions. I just don't care what versions people have of me anymore. So if you have a fucked up version of me, if you had a bad incident with me 6 months ago, you're not looking at the same person right now, because every day I wake up and strive to be a better human. So if we went through some shit, and let me tell you, I've been a petty person in my life. I'm not going to sit here on no pedestal and act like I've never been petty as fuck, or I ain't did some dumb shit, or I ain't talk shit about somebody, because that's a lot, right? But if you dealt with me a year ago, if you dealt with me 10 years ago, I'm not the same person you dealt with. I have changed and I have evolved. So there's parts about me that has changed. You're not dealing with the same person. So the person you have in your head doesn't exist anymore. That person is gone. That person is long gone, because every day is another chance to change, to grow, to strive, to elevate my energy. And so that is a part of my practice every day. Every day, that is a part of who I am. And so every day it's this, we're going to do better than what we did yesterday. And if someone triggered me yesterday, today I'm going to do better and not let somebody trigger me. I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of my trigger. I've become very highly conscious about my life and what I do. And when you step into that shift, it's a game changer for you, because you will constantly change. And you're like, no, this used to trigger me. I'm not going to let it trigger me. I used to let people trigger me with words. I don't do it anymore. You say what you want, and it doesn't trigger me anymore. I'm going to move over here. You have to evolve, because if you stay the same in every aspect, you'll keep doing the same shit, right? That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same shit and expecting different results. That shit doesn't work. Joanne, I'm going to tell you, when it comes to assault, the person always makes the woman feel like, and it's not the woman, because there's men that get assaulted too. The person who's assaulted the other person always tries to make that person feel guilty for it. It is not your fault that that person, out of everything that they could have did, decided to hit you. How is that your fucking fault? Now, I know we push buttons, and I always warn women, and not to say you did this, but I always warn women. I'm not about violence, but I tell women all the time, stop getting in these men's faces thinking they won't fuck you up. Now, I'm not saying that's what you did, but I do warn women all the time. If you're going to buck up and you want to fight a man, guess what? That man can fight you. Okay. Some men don't give a fuck. Some men don't have that conscious, like, this is a woman, I'm not going to put hands on her. Okay. Not to say that you did that, but I do tell women that all the time. And I can tell you, I have two grandsons, and I tell them that you will not be two men who let women think that they can put hands on you. I don't care what anybody thinks. I've seen too many men just sit and take shit from women, and it's fucking ridiculous. Not to say that's what happened to you, but most of the time, the person is trying to make you feel bad that it's your fault. Somehow you cause them to lose their shit. Let me tell you something, as a grown ass man or a grown ass woman, you are always responsible of your actions. Now, you have free choice and free will on every situation that comes to you. You are always, always responsible of your actions. What you choose to do, there's a consequence. If his consequence is going to fucking jail for putting his hands on you, then that's the fucking consequence of putting your hands on someone. Do not let someone make you feel bad for what they chose to do. That was a conscious decision. I don't give a fuck if it was in the heat of the moment or not, to put hands on you. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry. You know, you are going through a moment of, how much do you love yourself? I'm going to ask you that. If you love this person more, you will let that person make you feel bad. If you are like, nope, I need to love myself in this moment, I need to take care of me, you will look at it from a different perspective. Not to down talk. And I've never been in an abusive situation. It's hard for me to understand it because I've never been there, but I've watched women around me, my mother, my daughter, my niece. I've watched a lot of people around me be in abusive situations, and I've tried my best to understand it. Okay. I'll say that. I've tried my best to understand it, but it all has been the same kind of tactic from the man, except for the couple of women that decided to, like I said, buck up on a man. And some men are just like, nah, I'm gonna fuck you up. So I feel like if you treat someone with respect, they're gonna give you respect back, unless you're dealing with someone who is disrespectful and doesn't give a shit, right? Right, Heather. On that note, one of the thing is that people are always judging what we're doing, right? And I used to be a judgy person. Don't get me wrong. Man, I used to be a judgy person. There's some shit I couldn't understand. I'd be like, how the fuck? But that's without the parenting of someone letting me know that there's different ways to do things and it's okay. you know, I used to be judgy as fuck at a lot of people's parenting skills. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes we're just judgy as people. But I think we have to understand that every parent is different. And unless the kids are fucking, going through some crazy shit, it's none of our business. Unless the kids are being harmed, starved, you know what I mean? It's not our business how somebody's choosing to parent. Like true shit, Stephanie. You know what? I've come really close to some abusive men, and for whatever reason, I would feel that energy within them, and I would leave it alone. I just grew up watching my mom and dad, and I just did not want that in my life. I didn't want that to be my life. So honestly, I just never was with anyone. When someone I'm talking to them, and in the early beginning they would show that aggressiveness towards me, I would just leave it alone because I just was like, yeah, no, not doing it. My gut would say this ain't the one. Right. You guys, I'm sure everyone's seeing the shit with Johnny Depp. It goes both ways. But I tell my boys all the time, don't let these little girls hit you. And these little girls think it's okay. They're in third grade. And in my grandsons come home with some stories about these little girls putting hands on them. And I'm like, man. And then one day my grandson came home and he was like, yeah, I had to kick, I had to kick her in her gut. And I was like, damn, I didn't say kick her in her gut, but damn, but he got tired of it. You can't, as a woman, think it's okay to put your hands on a man, and then if they hit you, then it's like, oh my God, he really hit me. Wait, what? You have to show respect also. But if you're dealing with someone, yeah, but you know what? For me, that's a cop out. That's a cop out. Drinking is a cop out. I know people do dumb shit when you're drinking, but um, it's a cop out. You still have to answer to your actions. I don't care if you're drunk or not. You know, it's like if I'm drinking and driving, and let me tell you, I've gotten a DUI in my life. Okay, I got a DUI before in my life. Horrible experience, and I actually was asleep in the car, but they still gave me a DUI because my ass was behind the wheel and the keys were in the car. Um, if you decide to get behind that wheel and you're drunk and you fucking hit somebody, are you not liable for those actions? Should you not have to pay for that? So we could sit here and say I was high, I was on drugs, I was this, that, and the fucking third. But whatever you choose to do, it's a choice. You still need to answer to your actions. Okay? If you truly feel that you provoked your man, Joanne, and I have to say it because, again, like I say, there's a lot of women that will push a man to that point. My mom was that woman. You know, my mom used to make me think that my dad was just this abusive man until I got older and I saw how kind and gentle my dad was with animals. And my mom actually was the one who couldn't stand animals. My dad had this very gentle nature to him. And when I got older, when I got to my teens, I started to understand and see how provoking my mom was. My mom was a very provoking, especially with her words. She would provoke my dad until they started fighting, physically fighting. And so I realized that my dad wasn't the problem. My mom was a part of the problem. Not to say that he was right for hitting her, not to say two wrongs make a right, but she was definitely a part of the problem. She was not the victim in the situation as what she claimed to be. So it made me realize there was always two sides of everything. And it made me realize that you could provoke someone because my mom would do it to me. The only thing is I would get very close. I mean, I've been very close to hitting my mom, and she's my mom, but I just wouldn't. I just couldn't, you know. Um, but I've been very close because my mom can get very nasty with her words. Okay. So when you do that, when you see that, you kind of got to take that step back. And if you really feel like you provoke this person, then you gotta answer up for that shit too. Because I'm not saying you're, you know, just because you're a woman that you're all, you know, that you're all you didn't do nothing wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and say that. So you know what you've done in this situation. You know what side of the fence you're on. You know if you truly provoked this man or not. You know if it really was that. You know in your heart space. What you tell yourself and what you decide to believe in the story is a whole nother situation. Right, right, right. Yeah, I think you just at a certain point you just start to look at it. I do look at people's patterns, and I'm not even in the dating world, okay? But when I would talk to someone, if they were constantly drinking and that was their go-to, I would kind of take a step back and look at that. Like, okay, you always have to have a drink. You always got to be in this energy. Is that the best energy to be? Because we know that someone who's trying to be drunk or has to be drunk is you're numbing something that you don't want to deal with, right? And that was before the spiritual path that I could recognize that. Exactly. And that's why I use the drunk driver scenario. Because if it was your family member that got hit by the drunk driver, you'd fucking want justice, right? But if you're the drunk driver, you want people to be what? You want people to give you a chance. You want people to not give you the fucking like, you know, hard ass penalties. But for me, I feel like your karma is your karma. So you need to pay for what you've done. That's the right thing to do. You know, not to say, well, I was drunk and I'm so sorry, because you can't take back what you've done. And so in an assault case, drunk or not, you assaulted someone. That's a choice you decided to make. You still should pay the price regardless. That's just how I feel about it. I personally, as a woman, would never put my hands on a man. I wouldn't. I would never even step to a man like that. One, because I don't want no man putting their hands on me, and I'm not trying to fight a man. I used to fight dudes when I was younger, and I was a hothead and all of this shit. But as a grown woman, I'm not out here trying to fight nobody, first of all. Okay. I don't have anger in my soul like that. My soul isn't like, I'm not trying to fight nobody. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't care what you say. I'm 42 years old. I'm not about to be out here fucking fighting with nobody. No one. Not happening, right? I'm damn sure not going to be in a man's face trying to fight with him. I'm just not. There's just some things that I feel like my peace again is way more important than the argument. Hey, Blue Moon. Hey. From Brazil. Oh. Yeah, some women are. Some women have a lot of emotional issues and mental abusive. That's why I say it's not always the men. I'm not going to sit here and just drag all the men through the mud and say every man is shitty as fuck. You know, every man, you know, no, that's not this channel. I'm not that woman, you know. And so I do always say, like, you know, women have to kind of take that step back. If you want to challenge a man, then you might be challenging the right one. You might be challenging the right one. Yeah. Right, right. You have to ask yourself, you know, we're always loving everyone else. And what I've come to learn is we have to start to love ourselves just as hard as we would love somebody else. So if you can love someone to the ends of the earth, why can't you do it for you? Why can't you choose you in situations that hurt you, right? In situations that tear you down? You have to be able to choose yourself. I barely learned with StreamYard, boo. StreamYard I learned. I don't believe in violence at all. I don't believe violence is the answer to shit. I believe violence is just one of those things that just creates more hate. I've always been a lover, not a fighter. Even when I was younger, like people knew me of this fighter. Like if I just like to fight, and it was like, no, no, I don't. No, no, no. It just happened to be I'm in the hood, and in the hood, that's like what you do. I didn't like fighting. It wasn't like I was like, yeah, I just want to go beat someone's ass today. No, no. I will never sit here and act like I liked fighting when I was younger. Fucking couldn't stand it. It would give me anxiety. I hated it. I hated it. But I would not run. So one thing I would not do is I would not run. I'd be like, okay, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'm not going to run. I'm going to stand my ground, you know, but no, nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to be carrying on doing all this dumb shit. Yeah. That shit right there. See, I have a boundary, right? So you got about my arm length. My arm's pretty long here. My arm's pretty long here, okay? My arm's pretty long. You got about my arm length. Soon as you start coming in, yeah, no. I call that the defense zone. I'm not letting you get that close to me. No. So, you know, my thing is we not going there. And my thing of my life now is I'm not even getting to that heated conversation with you. Again, I don't have to prove shit. I'm not gonna prove shit. If we can't have an adult conversation, talk to me when you fucking cool down. Or don't talk to me at all. I'm just at the point of my life, I want peace. And when I say I want peace, I mean that shit. I'm not arguing with anybody. If we can't have a civil conversation, we don't need to talk. Period. We don't. And you could think what you want about me. You could fucking go on and say whatever. You could go on howl to the moon. Say I'm such a bitch that I don't care. I love my peace more. You know, I'm not trying to, you got to get to a point where you stop trying to prove and fight. What are you proving and fighting for? What's the point of the argument? What's the point of hashing it out and screaming and hollering at each other? That shit is all disrespectful. Once you get to that place, it's all disrespect. Exactly, Blue Moon. The respect is over. So instead of letting it get to that place, walk away. Walk away. But people's ego gets into it. Your ego gets involved. Your ego has to prove who you are. Your ego needs you to say this. I need you to hear me right now. No, that's your ego. Because if you're an adult and you become to a mature place, you're going to walk away because it could get worse. You know it could get violent. You know that it could go to the next level. So you're going to take that choice to walk away. That's living consciously. That's living aware when you're awoke. These people, everyone's talking about they're woke. No, they're not. Because you will stop trying to prove, you will stop trying to fight with people, you will stop trying to scream and all of this other crazy shit. You will walk away. Peace starts with you. Peace is not something that somebody's going to give you. Some people don't choose peace, and you have to realize that. Some people choose destruction. Some people choose to hurt people. Some people choose violence. In your incident, you have to choose. Where do I want to go with this? And me personally, I'm not about that shit. And when I was younger, it was always having to prove who I was, prove I wasn't a punk, prove I wasn't scared, prove this, prove that. No, at my age, I'm not doing any of that. None of that. You can think I'm a bitch. You can think I'm a punk. You can think whatever you want. You don't pay my bills. You don't feed me. I don't give a shit what you think. Think what you want. We have to stop caring so much that we let others push us to this point of destruction in our own lives. We have to take a step back. You are the only one that's going to create the peace in your life and around you, in your choices. Just like road rage. When people go off and people kill each other, fucking road rage. You're that mad in this moment that you're willing to take someone's life who cut you off in a car? Did you die? They cut you off? Oh my God, this person didn't have a blinker. Okay, it's a pet peeve. Don't get me wrong, it's a pet peeve. Them people piss me the fuck off. They have no blinker. But am I jumping out the car to beat somebody's ass because they didn't have a fucking blinker? Indicator light, whatever you look? No. What the fuck is that gonna do? You mad because someone's having a bad day at their fucking job? That's them. That's their life. They're miserable. What does that got to do with you? Nothing. Maybe say some encouraging words to this person who's having a fucked up day. And you can see that they're having a day. You have to be the change. You have to be the change that's needed in life. You got to be the change that you want to see. So if you want to see peace in the world, you have to create peace. And that means when you see that person who's having a shitty day at their fucking job and can't stand life, give them some encouraging words instead of getting angry at this person. Instead of talking down to this person who's probably already being talked down to 20 people that are already talking down to them in their life. Maybe change that. Becoming a better person is stepping back and understanding that we always have a choice. We always have a choice of what we do and how we represent in this life. And you can choose to be fucked up like everybody else. Hurt people. Exactly, Heather. Hurt people. You can choose to be that person. Or you can choose to change. You could choose to sit in this loving space. And when you choose to sit in your heart space, you're not going to just jump in the petty train. You're not going to jump into violence. You're not going to jump into destruction. You're not going to let your ego run you because you no longer need to prove anything. You don't. Right. You know, seeing people with their children in public is kind of rough, right? Because what somebody else thinks is abuse, sometimes it's not, right? What some people think, and I don't know what exactly situations you've seen. You'll see some parents that don't truly, their patience is gone with their child. Again, is it your child? Is it your place? Is this child truly being like fucking drugged and abused? Because if they are being abused, wouldn't the right thing to do would be called child protective services if that child is truly being abused in front of you? But I think sometimes it's because we don't parent like that. We're like, damn, this person's unloving. They're unnurturing, right? But is it truly our issue in this moment? Are we judging them for being a shitty parent? Some people are shitty parents. Some people are, sometimes in that moment, we're seeing the shittiest side of somebody. Sometimes in the story, you're seeing somebody who's stressed the fuck out. They got a lot on their hands. The child is going crazy and they fucking lose it. In that moment, we're only seeing this part. We're not seeing anything else that this person went through the whole day. We're not seeing anything else on this person's plate. We don't know shit else has happened in this person's life. You're only seeing this moment, right, in the store. Now, we do have people that we know that are shitty parents, right? And again, if they're really that bad of a parent, call Child Protective Services. If it's really that bad, yeah, they're definitely not. Right. And I've read a lot of his stuff. Carl Jung, I've read a lot of his stuff. I actually I talk about him in my shadow work class. I believe some of the things that he talks about with the shadow, but I really gravitate to more of the spiritual side of shadows because of past life. I'm a true believer of past life where your shadow holds your past life as well. So there's a lot of parts of what he talks about, the childhood traumas and things like that, that I truly agree with. But there's some parts that is like, right. Be a part of the problem or be a part of the solution. And create what you want to see in the world. We say this all the time. Good morning, Debbie. Create what you want to see in the world. If you want to see more peace, be peaceful. And some people have grown up to think that that's weakness. It's actually strength. I realize it takes more strength to not beat somebody's ass than just going off and beating somebody's ass. That shit is, you could just flip right there and boom. You know how much energy it takes you to hold back from fucking somebody up? A lot of energy. So it's actually more strength to be in that space of, nope, I'm gonna hold on to my power. Because the second you give in, the second you react, you've given this person your power. This person now has your power. And people who can't get your power hate that. Oh, that will drive them fucking bananas. Someone who can't take your power away, that's going to drive them crazy. And you're going to see really quickly what happens with that relationship, right? Oh, yeah. I think some people don't realize like how heavy-handed they are, or what are the better ways to discipline their kid, you know? I think some people just don't get that training, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's hard, especially if you don't parent in that way, and especially if you don't parent with violence. Right. Beautiful, beautiful. Look, just gonna put that up. Definitely. It is. Morning, boo. You have to choose better in your life. And so that's what I've been doing in my life. Just getting to this point of I choose peace over everything else. I choose peace. I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I don't want to prove anything. If we can't have conversations, then we don't need to talk. I believe communication is key, and I believe communication is one of the biggest things that fuck up all relationships, whether it's your parents, your siblings, your friends. When communication is not there, it'll never go right. When people are in their ego, it's never going to go right, because that's just a place of you. You're not thinking about the person that you're talking to. If we can't active listen, like if I can't hear you and all I hear is what I want to say, there's no need for the conversation. It's not going to go nowhere. Hell yeah. I'm very conscious of my karma in this lifetime. Aw, extending the olive branch. I'm very conscious of my karma in this life, and I feel like I've done enough shit of making shitty choices and acting on impulse. And I've done a lot of acting on impulse in my earlier days of this lifetime. And when I look back, I could see that. I could see where I went wrong in tons of situations. I can own my shit. I can say like I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have went there. You know, there's a lot of situations that I can be like, I know for a fact that I could have did better, but now that I am aware, I choose to do better. It's a difference. You can't be aware and keep doing the same shit you did yesterday. You can't be aware and keep making the same choices you did 2 weeks ago. It just ain't gonna work. That's not awareness. You're not living consciously at that point. You're just still doing the same shit, stuck in the same programming, same stagnancy. Yeah. And Betty, that's a Sag thing too, because Sagittarius tend to shut down. And so what I've been trying to do is not shut down in a negative way. So that I used to just shut down and just be all and then, until I blow the fuck up, right? So I've been trying to, if I need my time to think, I ask for my time to think. Give me time to think. Give me time to process what I'm feeling. Give me time, because I'm also a hothead. I also have the fire in me. And so I don't want to go to an argument. I don't want to go to that place. So it's just like, give me my time to think things through before I say some shit I may regret. And so instead of being the not so healthy, just shut down, it's more of, let me just think, let me get my thoughts together, and then let's have a peaceful conversation versus an argument. Like real shit. And the thing about it is too, because you'll do that and the child still loves their father, right? And that child will still be like, somebody's attacking my father. And then that's the memory that child has, which is crazy because you think you're saving the child. But that child then goes into protective, somebody's hurting my dad. It's the craziest thing. Hey, Kayla. True shit. Let's make it official. The official quote of today. You can't. You can't be aware and do the same shit. That's not awareness. And it isn't. You become aware of a behavior that's negative, toxic, or otherwise, it is up to you to start to change it. It's up to you to start to fix it. It's up to you to start to heal it. You cannot be aware and still do the same shit. No, that's bullshit. You're not aware. You're just saying what people want to fucking hear. You're just basically agreeing with everyone, but you have no awareness of what the fuck you're actually doing, right? Right. And I do believe that too. I believe that unfortunately there's a lot of people who just think that right? And I would say this to a couple people, like family and otherwise, like, I know I'm gifted, but I'm not a mind reader. I'm gifted as fuck, but I'm not a mind reader. If you don't say it, how do I know? Right? And I'm not a bad communicator. I do actually say what I want, or if I feel like I'm not getting something out of something, or if I feel a certain way, I say it. I do say it. I don't have a problem of that. But it's just like, I get it. Like, no one can read your mind. No one knows what you're going through. So that's why I actually tell people, like, just give me some time to think. I don't have nothing right now to say. Or I'm in this moment, would let me process before we have a conversation, because I need to group my thoughts around everything so that I'm not overthinking. Or if I'm irritated, especially if I'm mad, because when I'm mad, I don't want to say shit that's going to fuck up the relationship. And I know that I could go from 0 to 100 real quickly. So when I'm mad, I step back. I just step back and I retract. And it's nothing to the other person. It's actually respectful, because if I go into this conversation mad, it's going to go to fucking hell real quick. It's going to go to hell real quickly. So I just kind of retract, like, give me a minute. Give me a minute to cool down, and then let's have a conversation. And I think people who truly understand you will understand that. But some people won't understand that. Some people will take that offensively. And it's like, if you take that offensively, then that's you. But again, I'm not going to fight and argue. And I know me and I know my energy. Again, that's becoming aware. That's becoming aware of yourself and understand not to take yourself to the places you don't want to go. I'm not going to take myself to a place that I know damn well it'll be it'll go south real quick. Because again, even though I'm me, I'm still human. I might be spiritual and I might be highly awake and conscious and all this shit, but I'm still fucking human. I still get angry. I still get irritated. I still go through the fucking energy that we go through and the feelings and emotions, that we have. That doesn't change. The only thing that changes is that you become conscious enough to retract yourself from jumping into it without thinking before you act. Before you speak, before you lash out, you start to stop and just ask yourself, do I really need to respond to this person's comment? It's like when I used to be live and these people used to jump on and call me devil worshiper and all this shit. Oh my God, it used to piss me off. All of a sudden my blood used to boil and I used to just like start going in. And it was very like dramatic, but it just used to be like, why am I letting these people get to me? Why am I letting them take my power from me? Until eventually I just started sending them kisses. I don't know if you guys have been watching me that long. I just started sending kisses. And like people who used to give me frowny faces, like that shit used to irritate my life when I would see their frown face. And I would just be like, oh my God, why are you sending me fucking frowny faces? Right? And then I just started blowing them kisses. Just gonna blow you kisses. You obviously need some love today. So instead of being letting everything irritate my soul and just going into that spaz out mode, I started to retract, calming, send love to that person because obviously they need it. Obviously, this person is in a bad fucking state today. Obviously, this person woke up choosing violence and shit. And you don't know where somebody is at. I want you guys to understand that. You don't know where someone's mind frame is. You don't know where someone's mindset is. This person could be one incident away from that road rage incident where they take your life. You could be this person that you feel like you're about to challenge could be one incident away from losing their damn mind and you lose your life in a situation that's some petty shit. We see it all the time. We see it all the time where a petty situation goes to this crazy incident and all of a sudden it's like someone lost their life on some bullshit. So again, what are you really going to take from this situation? What do you really need to do? Retract. You don't need to. You don't need to do shit. And I'm not saying when someone is coming at you because you need to defend yourself. I'm about defending. I will defend my life. I don't believe in murder, but I'm going to choose me in a situation. I ain't going to just be like, okay, kill me. Oh, you want to kill me? Sure. Go ahead. No. Just because I'm a peaceful person doesn't mean I'm just going to let someone come and just kill my ass. No. I'm going to fight for my life. I'm going to defend myself, right? But if you could choose to divert and choose peace, man, choose that. I know. I mean, I don't care about it no more. I hear a boost too, and I just be like, whatever, send me frowning faces. It doesn't bother me. But there was a time where it did bother me. Oh my God, I used to irritate my life. I'll be like, get the fuck off my life. Now I just be like, whatever. I just vibe. Yeah. You just have to when you start to change your vibe change and you will just keep choosing peace versus everything else. I have been through so much in my life, like real shit, being very honest with you guys. I've been through so much in my life that I just don't want to live like that no more. I want the rest of my life to be as peaceful and as happy as possible. I want to constantly create happiness and peace in my life. And to do that, you have to protect your zone and you have to protect your energy and you have to protect where you're at. And when people come in to fuck it up, you got to let them go. You got to let them go and move on. You got to say enough is enough. And if people don't bring some type of value, and I'm not talking about what they can pay for you, what they can buy, what they can do for you far as deeds or whatever. I'm talking about if people don't bring some type of value in your life, if they don't inspire you in some type of way, if they don't bring some type of joy in your life, and it's all chaos and bullshit, let them go. Let them go. Let them go. It's pointless. You will keep disturbing your peace trying to force shit that's not meant to be. And we talk about that all the time, right? Um, I don't know if you have to be capable, but I think we're all capable. I think some people are in an illusion to think that they can't harm somebody. I think some people are in this illusion of love and light, of all love. We all have the capability of murdering. We all have the capability of violence. It's just it takes one situation to bring that out of you. And it's not like, oh, showing your true self now. It's all you need is a particular situation to bring it out of you. You can find a mom, right? Or a father. Let's say a mom or a father, and they could be the lovingest person ever. But let someone come and try to take the life of their child, and you will see that person really quickly go to a very violent state in protection mode. So I think people have it wrong where they think that they're not capable. Oh, I would never hurt a fly. Okay, you may be a naturally loving person, but there's always some type of situation that could happen that will take you to that violent state, and you just don't know it yet. I don't think you have to know violence to have it in you. I don't think knowing violence is going to make you better or not. You know, even though I was around violence as a child, I wasn't a violent kid. Even though I was raised and born in violence, I wasn't a violent child. I wasn't hurting animals and shit like that. I was a very loving, regardless to what I saw around me, regardless to the shit in the hood. And man, there was times in the hood where I could sit at my bedroom window and be watching a whole like group of people jumping somebody. Like there's times I used to sit in my bedroom window and just be looking out, and police are back there. Somebody got hit by a car, ran over the dog. Somebody got shot. I'm just chilling looking. It didn't make me a violent child. Okay. So I feel like we all have the capability of extreme violence, and we have the ability to have peace. It's always in our hands of the choice. You always have that moment of choice. And I think there's all situations that will test us and see. And in those moments, what will you choose? You know, like I said, I choose peace unless it's if I needed to defend my life, I would choose violence then. Okay. That'd be the opportunity. If I had to choose where someone's attacking my family, you know, like you see, like if you're out with your dude and shit, and like someone's jumping on your dude, ain't no fucking way I'm gonna sit here and let my dude get stomped out in front of me. No, we fighting together. I don't give a fuck. Ain't no way that me and my man are out and about and somebody is beating the shit out of my man in front of me. Fuck that. We team in this motherfucker. No, there's some situations that I think will just always test our limits of what's going on. Just like if I'm out with my family, there's no way. I'm not a fighter, but I'm not going to let my family get stomped out in front of me. That's not going to happen. That's when the violence comes in, because all you see is your people getting hurt. No, you know, I think it's a choice, and some people are delusional to think that they can't be capable of it. And I don't think you have to go to that place to understand it. It's there. But if you can live a life with no violence, live a life with no violence. You don't need to understand it and know it. It will naturally be there when the time comes and if you need it. People don't realize that we have an animalistic side to us, our human side, right? We have this animalistic side. We have a nature side. That's that fight, flight response. That's a natural response. When you look at babies and stuff, they have these natural abilities that they just know. You know, they just know shit, even though they're babies. Because we have that part of us that doesn't go away just because we're a little bit intellectual and we can speak and have conversations, you know. Mm, that's when you know you still have a lot of healing to do, Becky. Because if you're living a life and having no violence is harder, that's when you know you got anger inside of you, boo, that you need to release. And I can tell you, I used to have a lot of anger inside of me. And it's very hard to be a loving person when you are angry. You will constantly, it constantly comes out. The littlest argument and you blow the fuck up. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? And that's what, part of my path was I needed to heal that part. I knew I had an anger in me. I knew I was angry. I knew I was hurt. And it was just like, man, I can't live like this. I don't want to be the angry, bitter fucking woman. I was like, I don't want to be the cat lady. And let me tell you, you will end up being a fucking cat lady if you don't get it together. All right, y'all.